have a
There's no one else there on TV. Okay. I don't know whether if you want to be scheduled. So.
All right, I'd like to go ahead and start our Parks and Rec meeting today. If we can go around and have any visitors that we have introduce themselves and have some introductions. So.
Don Perman, Dennis and Canby for 30 years, and I'm coming to just talk about some things that are going on with the council and the work session next week, and I thought you guys might want some information and have the opportunity. So.
Okay. Randy, sure.
My name is Randy Ely. That's helping your interim assignment, temporary city administrator. So I've just started. This is 3.5 weeks, so just getting rolling. And we're going to come sit in, watch, introduce myself. So happy to be here. So,
Thanks for coming in.
Nice to be here. Thank you.
Thanks, Randy. I think our June meeting minutes were sent to everybody, so I'd like to see if we could get a motion to approve the June minutes.
second.
And Doug seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, so the June minutes have been approved. Monthly parks update. We're trying to get a quick update or status. Well, before we go on, I should go to Mr. Perman.
So
So
thanks. I think 2 minutes, 3 minutes. That's it.
3 minutes, and then you can.
I've been working with the council. We've had through one work session about Redwood Village, which essentially has been the public parking lot, basically, for the south side of Logging Road for the last 15, 20 years. The businesses there and their personal parking lots and all the surrounding parking lots are all used for parking to get access to Logging Road on the south side of town. We have no public parking, basically, on the south side of town for the Logging Road. So what I'm handing you is just a packet. You can look through it. It talks about what we've been through the last 15 years, the traffic, those that use it, both city vehicles, personal vehicles, other vehicles. And so we have a big meeting next week on the 23rd. And so you guys can come and be a part of the session. This would better educate you as you read this, so you understand what I've been kind of going through, trying to educate the city. And the other one last issue is that they're building a pathway now from 99E right up to the Logging Road. And that's going to also increase the traffic onto the third quarter. And so I have proposed to the city, that they convert the road to public road, and there's one corner lot that's kind of been started that we hope the city will take over and make it a bathroom in about 20 spaces. Because over in Echo, which is always full, it's got 20 to 30 spaces on the north side. The south side has none. And so we need a public parking lot, because Redwood and all the surrounding private parking lots has served the last 15 years as the public parking for those that want to get to the Logging Road. That's all I need to say. Okay, we'll see you next week if you want to be a part of the meeting. Yes.
Quick question.
Yes.
It sounds like you've been working with the city. Now,
Yeah.
I know for the last 15 years, the issue has always been that road has not been properly built. Or
Yeah, that's what's in the book. That's in the packet. It's been proven that it is properly built.
Okay.
And that's what we were talking about. It is a site-specific road. We have no semi-trucks. We have no big trucks or haul trucks. And so that's what's in there too from the geotech company that works with Canby Excavation. I paid them to come out and look at it. It's very adequate for the type of traffic this road gets. And the city agrees with that. And so that's where we're at right now. So yeah, so that's why, and that report is in that packet. Okay, perfect. So I wanted everybody to understand that road is adequately built and it's been serving as a public road for over 15 years.
So before I dive into this thing, just so I'm clear.
Yes.
Or we're clear, it's, you want the city to purchase the road and that lot.
Correct.
Is that
And convert it to, if they have to zone it as park property, fine. I don't know how everyone wants to do that part.
Okay.
But we know that that corner lot, it's kind of had its structural work done already. And so it's a corner of the actual, you know, the little triangle park that's there too?
Yeah,
That little triangle park and then the logging road?
right,
Right in that corner is where they kind of got started with some understructure work.
okay,
And then their permits expired and they're willing to sell it back to the city.
okay,
And that could be an ideal place for bathroom. I have people in my office and Warren's office and other offices asking to use our bathroom and they're jogging on the road or drink. It's like, it'd be a nice place to put a bathroom and maybe have 20 parking spaces for the public to use. So that we have some decent space for public parking on the south side of town.
okay,
We don't have that on the south side. My development has served the purpose to serve that to the public for the last 15. And so it's a good opportunity, a great opportunity to have a parking lot established for the citizens on the south side of town. And the north is already full. I've taken pictures in there. It's got 20 cars in it oftentimes, and it's kind of full. I think there's maybe a couple more left, but I just was by and I've taken pictures to understand that it's used well. So I think it's time to have something on the south side. There isn't, I don't think, anything other on the south side that have the ability to have an actual 20 space parking lot. So that's an ideal situation.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you.
I'll be tomorrow night, I'm gonna hand them out to the council. So you guys can have them before our meeting.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Alan.
you.
So I'll see you tomorrow night.
Right.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. Really not anything, not curfew, so if you have quick comments to make, you know, we know that Dodge has been years just getting back and mix of things. Do you have any?
It's going to first reading council tomorrow night.
Okay.
Yeah, it came in at, what, about $1 million under budget, right? Close, yeah. So, good news, yeah.
Great.
Yep, so we gotta get it through council and we can start construction. We're a little bit scheduled, my fault, but
First reading tomorrow night.
Yep.
Needs 2 readings, and there's the 30-day wait.
Yep.
But it came in $1 million under budget, based on the,
we were around 3 million is what we budgeted. I think it came in at just under 2.2, 2.1 million.
and it's kind of based on the trials that we received.
Yeah, exactly. Well, all of your guys they're building what you guys are wanting. Okay, so, yeah, super excited.
Yeah.
We just gotta get council to approve it tomorrow night, we'll be rolling. I think they're gonna be happy too, aren't they, Jim?
Neighbors will be
Yeah.
happy. Or the,
Maple Street, haven't really got going on that yet. I'm trying to get the new city administrator up to speed. We're trying to finish that comp study with the SDC stuff and all that. So we have the money budget at SDC, but not the general fund because of deficits. So we're struggling with that.
and Ryan Potter said, I mean, the SDC methodology, we hope to have done, he says, by before the end of the year, so.
What talking to Ryan and Dawn, if we do it now, it's only 33% eligible.
Yeah.
So that's the problem. So I'm sorry, I know it's not what money here.
I heard restrooms.
Yeah, my new boss wanted me to talk about restrooms tonight. Yeah, we kind of went back and forth on that last time, and I don't remember where this group landed, if we wanted to expand on bathrooms at Maple Street Park. I know that it's going to be a busy park, a lot of people, we didn't know if the outhouses were adequate. Barry and I want to go on a field trip and look at some restrooms in Happy Valley or something.
Ridge, yes.
Yeah, so,
It's up off, can't remember the Davies Road, Ridge View Road.
Randy, I took Randy out there, Randy, our interim city administrator, out there the other day, and we looked at it. You know, the ones we have are just too old, so outdated, stuff like that. And we talked about adding another one, which is but I'd like to almost look at something that had a lot more, if we were to do something, had more stalls. You know what I mean?
it is. Yeah, okay, yeah, Maple, yeah, it's,
community.
No, you did.
No, I'm just trying to figure out the ridge. I
He
don't
was
know.
asking about reach.
Where's that one at?
Oh,
It's in Happy Valley.
Oh, okay.
so,
But yeah, Maple Street is, it's
It's-
way underserved.
Yep. So I think we'll have more, maybe to report back next meeting on that. More input, maybe some pictures to show the group and everything else.
I don't know if anybody had a chance to go up to Maple Street over the weekend, but they had a girls 18 and 18U state softball tournament there this weekend, and there was 9 or 10 teams there, and it was pretty darn busy. You probably got a chance to see. I mean, it was busy, that part is splash pad, games going on.
How was the parking?
We need parking.
Parking was
We need parking.
I think you,
questionable.
I would think that the committee still needs to prioritize parking versus bathrooms and what's gonna take priority. Because that's what council will wanna know, but we have a huge safety issue up there with the lack of parking.
Counselor Davis, I wouldn't get, I kind of got shut down last time, but when Rick Robinson was still here, he took me out there because we knew back then we had an issue. And he said, Jerry, how fast could you guys core that property out that's next to the pickleball courts and gravel it for now? And just have a gate so you could open it up during big events and park that. Is that something, until we get this SDC thing, that would help for safety wise or something?
Well, that's probably because
Or do we not want to gravel that? We want to keep that grass into the ridge, you know what I mean? Just,
we need to, it's not anything that we're gonna do like tomorrow. I think we need to probably talk about that again, because that little part that we're talking about, moving to the other side and then putting parking up there. I mean, we're gonna be taking out some big trees, you know, to extend parking. I think that's gonna be, I think some people will be, a little sad. So we might have to relook where we put that park.
if the group wanted me to talk to the city administrator and Dawn Hardy, planning director, see if there's any heartburn with doing something like that we do in-house temporarily, is that a bad idea?
For Randy's, education on this is, it was budgeted in last year's budget to do the parking. And the city administrator chose to cut that out of the budget as part of the budget deficit. And it was identified as a high priority for this committee for parking up there, which is very unsafe, to say the least. Plus, it's starting to interfere with the neighborhoods and parking in the neighborhoods and things like that. So there lies the issue.
You'll have cars parked on both sides of Maple Street, and it really almost limits you to one lane.
And our construction project probably isn't helping much either right now, so, you know.
My 2 cents would be that if we had to prioritize, and the bathroom situation, I mean, we've had that parking issue there, for 50 years. That part's been existing, and it's always the same amount of teams, so it's not like it's all of a sudden, it's a whole new crew, and it's only been 2 fields ever, and so it's always been the parking issue. But when they did this bathroom situation, the bathrooms were a lot bigger and could handle a lot more. But now it's just 2 stalls. It is really, where, that everybody's hauling in outhouses and all that, there's a potential for, and I get the safety part, which I totally understand, we could do both, but I would say maybe if we could do the bathroom first and gravel that area by there just to get a little bit of relief, and then work on, that would be my 2 cents, because the bathroom situation is, 2 stalls for that whole park. We kind of made that park the crown jewel, and then you said, okay, well, we want all these people to come and let us go to the bathroom.
Well, we need both.
Well, yeah, no, I totally agree, but if you're gonna go A and B, I would say bathrooms are by far, parking you get at if you were out of town and coming to here, you would say, like, if you go into a baseball tournament, you kind of expect that you're probably gonna have to, depending on what time your game is, if you got the 8 o'clock game, you're probably gonna get a parking spot. If you got the 2 o'clock game, when everybody's already there, you're kind of used to finding a way around town. That doesn't help the neighbors at all. I get that part. But as a out of towner and experience wise, but then when you get there and there's no bathrooms, then you're like, well, what are these people doing? You have this whole park and you got 2 stalls, like that makes zero.
Well, and I know you're talking, I mean, baseball's talking about sharing with softball next year at Maple Street, so it's only gonna increase the use.
Well, I mean, it will be the same usage because we'll have the same amount of team. I mean, you know what I mean? It's like you only have so many teams there at one time. No matter if it's baseball, softball, so we're not increasing the capacity, but it'll be the same capacity, but it's just, you can't have that many people on site and have.
Well, it's the weekend tournaments. I
The
know
weekends,
that.
yeah, and that's what it is.
And the director for the softball group here in Canby said they got word that they want Canby to host the 18A and the 14B state tournament next year. So those are 2 big tournaments coming in again.
Softball, this don't
Randy, go.
we?
Oh, David,
Looks like he wants to jump in.
But
you have something to add, David?
I like Jerry's idea of graveling it right away, and that'll help in the short term.
The big difference there, Ryan, to me, is number one, we've got the splash pad, we've got the pickleball courts, and the added sidewalks to Maple, which we didn't have before. Plus, we got a much better, well, we made huge improvements to the fields. And so that's attracting a lot more people, you know, and you're able to play more games as well, you know, and longer with the lights. But they've added those other things that we didn't have there before. And if I was living on Maple Street, until they made some improvements to the parking, I'd be pretty upset.
Yeah, and I don't know, I guess I always take the right or wrong. I've been on this board long enough that, you know, I would, you live next to a park, so this is what you kind of get. But yeah, they have expanded the deal, so I don't know if you go parking only on one side of the street only to do, I mean, there might be some traffic calming devices. But I think we have done an in-service to that park by doing all this and then saying, we're gonna give you two stalls. Cause that just, but I totally get it. That's why I think grabbing that thing, and again, I think at this point, we're kind of out of the season now. I think softball, I think they might be done, baseball's done. So really, we don't have those big events anymore until next spring.
We might look at, well, I mean, if we need to go around and take a vote, but I think we need to look at parking and we need to look at the restrooms. You know, both, whether it's the parking that we thought we were gonna do before, extending that one, or just graveling.
And I don't know, I mean, if we saved a bunch of money in Auburn Farm, I don't know how that'll shape that all SEC money. So now, okay, so can't we get, so you said 33% is what we got in April at this point?
Yeah, we don't have any general fund money to mix with it right now, so it puts us in a tight squeeze there to do it. We should have, wish we could have done it when we had the money budget. But I mean, that should say, I'm not gonna bring that up yet.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think,
I'm-
there's no wrong answer here, it's really the chicken and egg here, we gotta solve both these
Yes.
problems in a hurry.
Exactly.
So I don't know which one is.
And this, the gravel thing, you know, it's not a good solution, it's not the best solution, all that, that's the only thing I can probably provide right now because of the safety issue. I do see that they are using the signs out there and stuff, you know, that we gave them barricades and stuff.
Right.
I'm hoping that helps for safety. So you guys let Randy and I know, or if you wanna have Jim bring it up at council with the, you know, what we do there or whatever, let me know, or let Randy know.
Yeah, we're not gonna come up with a solution tonight. I think it's something that we're gonna have to continue to discuss. I think that what's that solution gonna be? I mean, like Jim said, I mean, it was budgeted for 24-25. Okay, taking off of that. So we know.
Jerry,
Yes, sir.
How many spots you think you can get on that piece of property?
I figured I wasn't at 24. If we gravelled it, I think it was
Yeah.
24 if we do it right and leave the trees. So,
And how big was the other one on the other side?
did we figure that one out? We never looked at that one yet. I think it would add more than that. If we took the playground out and stuff, yeah, but we'd have to take a bunch of the big trees and we'd have to do some public.
It's existing right now. What's existing?
That little-
Capacity there now.
Well, I don't know how many spots are in that existing parking lot there. You think we can double that?
Oh, easy.
Yeah, it's pretty big, yeah. It would help a lot. I mean, it would help a lot.
So in the bathrooms, are you thinking about a separate unit then that's not connected to that?
Yeah, we have plumbing and stuff in preparing for adding bathrooms over, away from it, so,
I
but,
would say that's because you need those bathrooms on the weekends. So you can have those locked up so they're not getting messed with during the week. And then
Yeah.
Open them up.
Yep.
You just have the two.
keep
during
the
week.
two during normal, yeah. I just would like to, my thing is, and I shouldn't have an opinion here, but I'm gonna throw it out there anyways. Just put two more in, does that really help us? That's the thing, putting enough in that could actually,
Yeah.
make a difference. But I heard they're having some troubles out there with lines and people, having to wait there, long lines.
Oh, yeah, it's not.
Not a good situation. So I say we do it right. I don't wanna bring this up. I've seen Jim in a long
Well,
time. Have you already looked at it?
no.
Oh, okay, good.
The-
Can we go to new business?
Why stipple? Dibble tell us.
What?
The Peddler Skate Park project, maybe a potential usage of urban renewal funds.
Yeah.
Okay,
Uh,
But Jim's only one vote.
That's right. But I think I can get those.
I know he'd work at it. We have, $2 million worth of, urban renewal projects scheduled this year to get going, First Street and all that, so. Kind of,
And this year's budget closes out urban renewal.
Yeah.
It ends this year.
so. And I have one more thing, should I add this other thing to new business? or-
Yeah.
Okay, I'll wait, that's, I guess, and then, old business, one more thing is that they got started on the walking path, or speaking of urban renewal projects, they started it. They're plugging away at it. They had to wait for surveys, engineering, stuff like that, but I'm really happy with the way it's going. The walking path, from the bridge down to 99.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so, Councilor Waterman's been asking a lot, Jim, so if you could give an update tomorrow night on it, just saying that it's a go, it's going well, and, we're just waiting on the survey. And I know, city administrator's been keeping people updated on that also.
Good.
That we're on schedule. That's all I have.
Okay. Under new business, we've asked for years and years and years to track the parks maintenance fee. And everybody goes back on this ordinance, the original ordinance. And I think we need to review and modify that so we can track that parks maintenance fee and maybe track it here out of Public Works. Perhaps, it seems to me, and I don't know, maybe I'm the only one, but it seems to me, the money coming in, we should be able to track what's going out if it's applied to that same code that we set aside for park maintenance fee, instead of having it fall under the general fund. It's nuts. And I don't see why we can't keep track of it. If these folks, if Public Works knows what they want to charge or what they're going to charge to that fee, it could be assigned to that fee number or the parks maintenance fee account that's set aside. And they'd be able to track it.
Classify it, not just lump it in the general fund, to where it makes it all confusing, is what you're saying.
Exactly. David?
Nothing?
So if this group wants the council to consider that they would need to look at the actual ordinance for the parks maintenance fee, and then it could be made more restrictive or tracked in a different way by ordinance and approved by council. And I think that would clean this up if this group could kind of decide, make a recommendation, maybe work with Randy and I a little bit on it, and then get it back to them. And it might solve all these problems, Barry.
Absolutely. Right, how is the street fee?
That's
Separated out, or is it just a one?
glad you brought it up, because it's, the way they set that up, it's separated out, the money is really restricted. And it's set by ordinance, so basically if you use it for a park or something like that, you break the law. So it's restricted, it can only be between, it's got really strict guidelines, between the curbs, asphalt, gravel, all this stuff. So you guys could do the same thing with the, parks fee.
Think the parks fee.
You could, it just would have to be adopted by council. By ordinance, so, which, Barry, I think this is probably the best, make it easy on everyone, the best way to approach that. So maybe you set that up in a future meeting if everyone's interested to.
Normally, I would lean back, change to Terry. Well, I would lean to Terry and say, Terry, can you rewrite that ordinance?
I'll try.
Thanks, Terry.
No, I know you're busy. All right, well, that kind of went along with number 2, create a separate. That was number 3. We're moving right along, Jerry.
You're a little passionate about that one, Barry, I can see.
I am, I was very passionate about that. The question came up, I mean, how does Parks and Rec get a larger share of the general fund? Right now, the general fund, I mean, if we look at, it kind of bounces between maybe 68% or 70% of the general fund goes to the police. And then the rest is divvied up amongst all the other groups. I don't know what we get as far as Parks and Rec. I think maybe we're a figure around 12%, maybe kind of comes to mind. But what do we need to do, or how can we go about getting a bigger share of the fund? Number one, three of the employees in Parks and Rec are paid for out of the Parks maintenance fee. And I don't feel that we should be paying our employees out of the Parks maintenance fee. They should come out of the general fund just like everybody else, just like the police, and just like, I don't know, wastewater, or anybody else. So, I don't know, anybody have any comments on that? David, you still there?
Well, I was thinking more people on the budget committee.
When we were overlooking at the pedal park in Sandy, I had asked them how they did it. And I think Barry and I talked to the city administrator there, and they get a bigger piece of the general fund because they have a public safety fee for police. So the police is paid for out of that, so it allows more general fund for the parks.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this city can handle another fee, but we gotta start looking at something, because we had cuts this year and we're gonna have more next year, so.
Some of the PERS stuff come out of general fund, how does that?
Some of it, I mean, the PERS, the general fund employees do, police, all of the general fund.
We just start PERS more, is that they're kind of paying for
Yeah,
past and future retirements, which is just the way of the world, and
yeah,
that's, I mean, schools, everybody's going through it,
Well, we'll keep hiring employees.
so,
and our city keeps growing.
so I don't know, I mean, yeah, I would love to get more, but I also know the struggle it is to just keep what we have citywide afloat, you know?
I think that's, can we dump this one onto our interim city administrator, say, hey, boss, please.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, no, I think the council has asked me to prioritize, taking a look at the budget, right? I think the words forensic audit has been tossed around, like really break it down. Let's look at where the revenues are at, where the expenses are at. And just take a close look at how we're spending things. There's been some words tossed around about budget shortfalls and double entries, just language that was used during last budget cycle, shortfalls that probably needs to be cleaned up. Get some confidence built back. Sounds like I should probably go back and look at those tapes.
Sounds like you kind of got it covered.
Well, those are the buzzwords I've been hearing.
Yeah.
So I think I'm happy to jump in and, you know, get this parks and rec conversation maybe carved out and, you know, SDCs and standalone and parks maintenance fee standalone, and street maintenance fee, and just like, you know, let's start doing things. Sounds like things have been hung up with narrative for far too long, and I don't know, I'm not casting any blame, but maybe while I'm here, I can, for a short time, I can help with that.
That sounds good.
Moving on to the logging trail. I got an email from Eddie Monacuco, logging trail striping. And I know there was another, I noticed on my phone, there's been a change in the Oregon legislation on e-bikes, so that's gonna change, so there'll be e-bikes using them. So, I don't know, maybe Bike Ped come up with that. You know, have a discussion on that, how they wanna handle that. Jared, striping, you talked about striping.
Yeah, before we, I don't know what we want to call the budget, before we had to, Spencer had to go get really tight with the parks budget this year. I wasn't here for it. And so when the budget had money in it, the Bike and Ped wanted us to look at striping the whole logging road path. Separated like a skip line all the way down and then a line with arrows down by the walk dump. And so we got looking at the budget stuff and look at this, it's 3 miles long. If you do a 5-foot stripe, 15-foot space, it comes to 5,280 feet striping.
That's a mile.
Yep.
I remember that from high school.
So that's, you know, $200 in paint, about a week to lay it out, you know, and paint that whole thing to get it right with the striping and signage, all that stuff. So we're looking at $4,000 or $5,000 hit to the parks fund. So with everything.
Thanks to the Bike.
Well, they don't have a fund, so it would have to come out of, it'd have to come out of the general fund or parks fund. So anyways, and then I got talking to Randy and the striping team and all that stuff. And we got thinking, you know, what is gonna change? What's the liability? You know, I'd like an engineer to look at it before we start going and putting, you know, $4,000 worth of work or $5,000 worth of work and stuff. So I wanna make sure this group is interested in striping it at this point still. I don't want to sell the Bike and Ped people up because they've done a lot of hard work for us too, but what are your thoughts on this with me telling you all this information?
I know we fielded complaints in here before with people walking at the logging trail and complaining about e-bikes. And even if you stripe it, it's gonna change. What's gonna change? And you're always gonna have people complaining, and you'll have people that, I mean, you post a speed limit of 45, you probably still drive 55 or 60. I mean, just because you put a stripe on there or whatever. I'm talking about rules in general.
No,
You can lay out all the rules you want, but you're gonna have violators.
Cause then they'll start making $5,000 to $10,000 worth of signs and posts
Yep.
that no one follows.
And then no one follows.
Justin's right. What is it gonna trigger? All that stuff. So
So what's the striping? Really, I guess I'm not.
So you have a 2-lane highway, you just stay on the
Right.
right side if you're going this.
So basically, it's just a stripe down the middle of this whole thing and.
skip line like it.
You stay on the right.
And then making it arrows like going around the loop so people go the right way. That there, that makes a little more, you know, makes some sense, but I mean, but man, every time you put paint down, you gotta paint it every year. I do that with,
Was there legislation, you said?
there's something with the
e-bikes?
the e-bikes and Bike and Ped are working with legislation and they're doing a lot of work with them and now they're legal.
Oregon Parks is already passed.
I'm not real up on it, Jim, but Jared might.
If you,
They
were-
decided they're allowed.
Right.
So we can't.
you can,
So,
Okay.
but
There's nothing in the legislation, it's that you have to strike burn.
No,
No, not
no,
right?
no.
Yeah.
There's no, nothing Jim saying we have to do it. I think this was more something they brought up that they thought would help with safety.
Yeah, we've dealt with this several times with them.
Have you?
On this committee.
That's what I was wondering.
Oh, and it goes into enforcement. The PD has said they cannot enforce out there.
Right.
You know, so
Yeah.
signage, and if there's an incident, then it's up to them to prove who was at fault, whatever it might be. But we're going down an avenue of enforcement. And when it comes down to it, I'm out on that bike trail a lot. I've yet to see an incident or a problem out there with e-bikes or other bikes. You know, people are generally pretty courteous.
Okay.
You know, I mean, the city has other fish to fry, like bathrooms. Yeah, stuff like that, to worry about striking. That's only my,
Okay.
And like I said, and thus, rules posted, it's just, you just posted the rule. It's like,
Does the city have any liability if we don't post it? I mean, I know we have, I don't know how old these rules are, right down here, when you're crossing, when you're heading towards the bridge, when you cross Territorial, there's a big set of rules that say, I don't know. What they say.
And
there's
But
signs.
there's some other,
There's signs.
there's signage.
It
Is that the
follows
only, is that the only
ordinance.
place that we have a sign? I mean, I don't know, I guess liability wise, if there is an incident,
No, there are signs. I've seen other
you
signs
know,
too.
like, hey, stay the right max speed.
we follow the state rules, we follow the Oregon laws.
But do we have that posted other than that one spot? Is the
There's-
question. And I guess the question, are we somehow gonna be liable if there is an incident where the walker says like, hey, you didn't say we had to be on the right-hand side of this trail or what have you, and I just got ran over. Cause I mean, at the end of the day, they're suing the city, right? And probably the guy that hit it, so I guess, I'm not saying we have to go put billboards up everywhere, but I don't know if we can put a couple signs out there, put some basic rules of max speed, cause I think we talked about having a max speed for the e-bikers of
the e-bike was 20 miles.
whatever it was, and stay to the right, and just some common sense deals, so if something does come back, we can say, look, we have it all written out right here.
I can Pat explain this to me, but it's so long ago, but basically, we're following the state's laws on bike rules. So by us having it posted on the entrance, we're covered, I guess.
Okay.
But, yeah, I mean,
I think, that's just changed.
but we change with their laws.
Right.
So unless we want to make our own rules, which we don't, as Jim was saying.
Right. We don't. But they're not even gonna follow the state's rules.
But Bike and Pat is really on this, so they're gonna keep us updated, and when they get this all done, I think they'll probably come give us, like, educate us all on this. Again, yes, thanks.
I'll call Bruce Park.
I mean, do we have these rules posted on 13? I'm just thinking that it'd be nice, I don't know, we know we have them right here, but that's just a one entry point. I know, as Vernon says, they all come from his area. And then, they're coming from 13, because that's a,
Right.
I mean, I think we should probably have a couple sets of these rules, just other than this one.
You know, if there's,
I think there are, but off the top of my head.
I know there are.
If there are, then it's not, I
Yeah.
just wanna make sure.
Aren't they all posted like on the bollard before you?
Yeah, that every bollard has one on it, I think, wherever.
I can just think of.
Does that sound right, Jim?
No motorized.
I see them all.
vehicles.
Okay.
Up there, yeah.
And the last item, I mean, I can call Bruce Parker and have him put together something, he can come down here again. Fill us all in, like Deputy with the or Mindy. We gave an SDC variance to polish homes for Mark's Place. And that was they were gonna make some parks. And they were gonna put their own parking or park space in and a green space and walkways.
The
Plant
approved
trees.
plan from this group.
Right.
Yeah.
The one that they proposed to us for an SDC variance, we gave them a break. So what's been done with that?
The trail's in,
The trail is in,
the trail's
They-
in.
they put the trees in that
There's some trees up there too.
they're gonna be, what were we requesting?
It's not a very big trail.
No,
I think it's just the first section, but then they're currently working on the next section right now. So,
yeah. What's the trees we want, Jim? No, remember the chair,
The flowering.
dogwoods, pink dogwoods.
Yeah.
Yeah, we put dogwoods in out there.
Oh,
So,
there you go.
yeah, right? Isn't that what we added? Yeah.
We put them in?
No,
Okay.
they put them in, but we're trying to do pink dogwoods because that's our city tree. We're gonna-
All right. Yeah, one more.
For the business.
Sure, go ahead.
Jamie, or Tyler Nizer and Spencer Pollock over here have been working with the state, and we had a meeting today about it. It was a great meeting, and they got a grant that they want to apply for, and it's to dig out community park. Spencer, it's to dig the pond out, and basically, long story short, we can apply for this grant, and if we supply trucking and equipment, it's all covered. And so, that might go into cleaning that shallow pond up, making it look good, clean up down there, not a real big hit to the parks budget.
Because we'll have a grant.
Yeah, and Jamie, or Tyler and Spencer were asking if we could bring that up today and see if you guys were interested in doing that, us doing that, looking into that grant.
What's the impacts to the parks budget?
It would be, it would just be, the public works would have to supply trucking. So, I mean, it depends on if they want to track diesel fuel or something like that, but it would be a really low impact.
It was on our 20-year plan. It was one of the items on our 20-year.
Yeah,
And to replace or put in the fountain.
and clean it out and then get that thing cleaned out. They're pretty excited about it. They help with all the permitting, all the stuff, all the environmental side of it stuff, which would be huge. I think it's kind of a slam dunk. I think we should apply for it, but.
When you say that, you mean the state will help with all that permitting?
Yep.
So we need to take a vote locally in our group to go forward with the grant.
Yeah, and then Counselor Davis or Randy, tomorrow night can see what council says about it, but.
Write something, you just write something up, a couple paragraphs.
Sure.
We can trial balloon it. Sounds like a no-brainer. There's no strings.
We need to make a motion on it.
Just say we have the support of the parks.
Yeah, recommend us applying for the grant.
Recommend moving forward to apply for the grant to dig out the pond at Community Park.
We'll type something up real quick. Do you want it, Randy?
And add the fountain. No, you're shaking your head.
It's just, but first, just do the pond. We'll talk about the fountain later. That costs money. Sorry, Barry.
Aerate. You still got aerate. Come on. You got aerate. That's right.
Maybe we'll ask the state.
Yeah, why not? Go for it.
Do we send it?
Well,
Just give me a few sentences to say.
let's see if we've got, all in favor of the motion to dig out community pond, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. 5-0.
We have a first and second.
I motion it.
Okay.
And I'll second it. Is that it?
We're good.
That's it. Ryan Potter's not here. He obviously Cabot, don't have a member of Cabot any longer on the board, so we'll pass that to Jim.
Jim Davis.
All falls to you.
Okay, I will be brief. The All-Star game is on,
Oh, yeah.
We should have a hard stop.
Yeah. Cal Raleigh flew out his first time up to say no. So, welcome to Randy and,
Thank you.
yeah, and thank you for attending tonight too. Yeah, and Thank you to Spencer for filling in while Jerry was gone. Fantastic job. And especially with this group.
Good group.
Yeah, good job. I just wanted to touch a little bit on why the urban renewal funding for Pedal Park, just so you understand, is the projects have been laid out in the budget to close out the budget for urban renewal. I have no idea if there will be any funding left after the projects that have been identified. If there are, then that's something to revisit, utilizing and closing out those funds for urban renewal. But I have no idea, but I do know in the budget process, the projects that were identified closed out urban renewal. So it's not like you can just come up with new money for urban renewal, because it is slated to close out in June of next year. And all projects have to be identified, I think, by January, February of this next year as well. So it's not that I control that, the council's already made that decision on projects through the budget process. And there is no more money that can be had at urban renewal to be able to extend urban renewal. So that's why it has to be closed out. So I just wanted to explain that to you guys a little bit. The city council has discussed the park maintenance fee a little bit and updating the ordinance for that. As a matter of fact, we actually held a work session and talked about street maintenance and park maintenance fee. And the fact that we definitely have to update park maintenance fee because it's very, very, very unclear at this point as far as how it's charged, like Barry was talking about. So we do need to update that, but we did hold a work session with that, Randy, just so you're aware of. So the council has been dealing with that as well. Just kudos on the nice bench down at Wake Park for Jeff Snyder. I noticed that the other day when I was down there setting up for the 3-on-3. But then the next item too is what a great job Public Works is doing in regards to supporting the 4th of July parade. All the barriers and everything else that had to be put out there and stuff, and then followed up with getting things ready to go for the 3-on-3 basketball last weekend too. So it's just a busy time in Canada, but you know, Public Works and the crews of Public Works do a great job in regards to supporting those activities. So thank you. Yeah, kudos to you guys on that. And then one large issue that the city council is working on right now is power. You know, in regards to just looking at power coming into the city. You know, we are working through those issues, and the city council will continue to work through those issues. And I'm sure you've heard scuttlebutt on the street about that, stuff like that. So we will get it resolved, and I know Randy's on it as well in regards to working with the city council on that. So that's a fairly substantial issue as well. So that's all I had.
I have a quick question. On that urban renewal, with that sunsetting, what does that tax base look like that's coming in that used to be in that urban renewal? Now it's
The city's slated to get a minimum of $1 million in next year's budget. But that, a good portion of that has kind of already been spoken for. That $1 million because of the fact that there's some salaries that come out of urban renewal that's paid to the city. Well, then the city has to pick up those salaries and benefits out of that $1 million that's coming in from urban renewal. So that's in the neighborhood of $500 some thousand that will come out of that $1 million. But that will continue to increase in regards to what happens with the industrial area, for instance. Because tax revenue doesn't come out of the industrial area because that's in the urban renewal district. Right. But then, for instance, the Wygant property, which everybody knows where that's at, it's up there on Redwood and 13th. Wygant property, that's gonna be a huge development. Well, that's even outside the urban renewal district. So that will be a huge tax increase for the city once that's built. But then those other properties that are in the industrial area and stuff, those are in the urban renewal, those taxes will now go to the city instead of to the urban renewal district. So that will increase the revenues.
So I guess my long-winded thought here, and why I asked the question was, so maybe because that's ending and we're gonna get, the city will get more money in, that maybe our percentage will stay the same, 12%, what have you, but that 12% will be more because there'll be more
Should be.
to be had. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, you know, there's so many variables out there when it comes to park and rec. For instance, not knowing, you know, what's gonna happen with the community center, whether it be Ackerman, whether the city buys the property where the adult center is at for possibly building a new aquatic center or whatever. There's so many variables that will come out of the planning process that Don Hardy's doing. And then, of course, communications with the school district board in regards to the possible purchase. Well, then it comes to the back to the city, okay, now how are we gonna purchase this? And like it's already been talked about, there's all kinds of possibilities, whether or not we do a bond for park improvements for the city, or we then do a public safety. Yeah, I mean, there's variables, but those are all things that have to be worked out with the city administrator and the council to look at the different options. But it's all good because there's so many things on the table right now in regards to the possible improvements.
Anybody else? I have one other thing to add. We still have an opening on our board. The two applicants that we thought we were interviewing today both dropped out, so we have another opening, and I've extended the application period to August the 11th. So if you know anybody that wants to apply,
I have a lot of people looking to get on parks, or we haven't had it.
had two. Ryan recruited one. So anyways, that's all I.
Nobody from Dodge.
That's
That's
a good idea, Jim. We should reach out to their HOA.
I'll reach out to the contact that I have.
I do have a quick question. So is this the plan that we're doing up here, right there? Is that in concrete, so to speak?
I think that was the last
Well,
one they approved that.
As far as the rendering goes, I mean, it's soccer.
Yeah, that's,
Close.
I don't think it's specific.
It's
Playground equipment.
Yeah, playground equipment is not specific.
That sidewalk. on the
And
left.
bathroom's different too. Right? The bathroom's moving.
Yes.
To like that center.
So here, I guess here would be my only, if I was a 10-year-old Ryan Oliver.
That sidewalk that runs diagonal there, I think was moved.
I think it was.
Okay, that was my deal, because it cuts, I mean,
Right.
if you have it here, then you have this whole green space versus a piece of concrete.
that was for the soccer, goal.
Right.
We were testing you.
Okay, can I get a motion to adjourn this meeting?
Motion to adjourn this meeting.
One, second, Doug. Okay, all in favor of adjourn, say aye. Aye. Okay, the next meeting will be August the 19th at 6:30. Right here. Unless Don Hardy calls, wants me to move it up to 5:30.
That is right after the fair.
Thanks. We'll see you. Take care.
Thanks for coming.
See you.
Just down.
Bye, Dave.
I'm gonna.
See you, Dave.
See you guys.
I don't know where.